Welcome back, football finale fans. If you're here for the latest transfer news, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates. What a devastating day for football, especially for Arsenal fans. It was a historic day for Tottenham Hotspur, as they lifted their first major trophy in 17 years, and the football world is buzzing. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has responded, but what does it all mean for the future of the club? Let's dive into the details. Tottenham's 1-0 victory over Manchester United in the final, despite United having more possession, was shocking. Spurs managed to defend their lead in the second half and claim the Europa League trophy. Now, Spurs fans are celebrating their first major piece of silverware in nearly 2 decades. A huge congratulations to Ange Postecoglou and his squad. But Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have their own perspective. When asked about the comparison between Arsenal and Spurs, Arteta said, "I don't like comparing myself to other teams. I focus on my squad and my job." And you know what? It makes sense. That trophy may mean a lot to Spurs, but let's not forget the context here. The competition has changed, no more Champions League teams dropping down. Arteta's focus on Arsenal and the road ahead. While Spurs are celebrating, Arteta knows Arsenal has bigger fish to fry. The season may have been difficult, but Arsenal is still the third most successful club in Premier League history, with 30 major honours. And the gap to City and Chelsea is closing, so now is the time to act. The 2025-2026 season is going to be crucial for Arsenal. They need to bring in reinforcements. And Arteta's strategy for this summer? Well, it looks like Thomas Partey might be staying after all. Arsenal is reportedly in talks to extend Partey's contract. Both parties are eager to find a solution. But here's the kicker, Partey might be willing to take a slight pay cut to remain at Arsenal. This contract negotiation could be an important piece of the puzzle as Arsenal look to bring in new players for the squad. But it's not all about keeping players. Arteta needs to strengthen his squad, and this summer window is the perfect opportunity. The future of Thomas Partey and Arsenal's transfer focus. So, why is Partey staying at Arsenal? Well, despite offers from the UAE and Atletico Madrid, Partey is reportedly prioritising his future in London. Arteta sees Partey as a key player for next season, and Arsenal is looking to negotiate a short-term contract for him to stay. The key here is squad depth. With Jorginho leaving on a free transfer, Partey could be seen as the squad player that Arsenal needs to back up their more prominent starters. But the big question is, does Arteta need to make a proactive move in the transfer market or stick with what he knows? It's a complicated decision, especially with big financial pressures looming from the lack of Champions League football next season. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want Partey to stay, or do you think it's time for a change? Trossard's future and Martinelli's contract update. Now, let's move on to another key figure at Arsenal, Leandro Trossard. Arsenal has recognised that Trossard's current contract is not up to par with his squad standing, and as a result, talks for a contract extension are underway. Trossard has been a game-changer for Arsenal in the last 2 seasons, and Arteta and his team are keen to keep him around. Reports say the negotiations are progressing, and Trossard is expected to sign an extension soon. But what about Gabriel Martinelli? Martinelli has had a solid season, but with Arsenal eyeing new wide forwards, his future is not as certain as it once was. Arsenal has made it clear they want to keep their best players, but if an offer over £50 million arrives, they could be willing to listen. Martinelli's contract runs until 2027, but the club also holds the option for an additional year. Arsenal sees Martinelli as an important asset, but they're also ready to make tough decisions. Arsenal's focus on attack, Rodrigo and striker options. As Arsenal prepares for the summer transfer window, the main focus is clearly on improving the attack. Arteta wants to add goals and creativity to his squad, and that's where Rodrigo comes into play. Arsenal has reportedly started talks to bring in Rodrigo from Real Madrid, with Arsenal showing serious interest in the Brazilian forward. Rodrigo is in his prime at 24 years old, and Arsenal is looking at him as a versatile forward who can play on the left, right, or even as a false 9. Real Madrid is reportedly demanding £80 million for Rodrigo, but Arsenal is keen to make this happen. Now, the decision will come down to whether Rodrigo wants to make the move to the Premier League. And with Rodrigo possibly leaving, Real Madrid may look to reinvest and strengthen their squad, making this a critical move for both teams. Striker target, Benjamin Sesko and Victor Osimhen. Finally, we can't talk about Arsenal's attack without discussing striker options. Arsenal is reportedly targeting Benjamin Sesko and Victor Osimhen this summer. Sesko has been on Arsenal's radar for over a year, and now, with Leipzig open to negotiations, Arsenal could finally make their move. Sesko offers a dominant presence in the box and is a natural goal scorer. On the other hand, Osimhen is one of the most sought-after strikers in Europe, and Arsenal would have to pay a hefty price to secure him. With both strikers having different styles and strengths, Arsenal is weighing up their options carefully. But, it's clear that Arteta is looking for a striker who can help Arsenal challenge for titles. So, what do you think about all these updates? Arsenal's attack, the future of Martinelli, and the potential moves for Rodrigo and Sesko. It's going to be a wild summer. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you want Arsenal to sign? Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our transfer updates. Thanks for watching Football Finale, and we'll catch you in the next one.